Kratos is bald. Agent 47 is bald. Your dad is bald. Now, what do all of these people have in common? They're amazing, especially your dad. But we talk about him a lot on this channel, so I want to focus on the other two. These guys are two sides of the same bald coin. God of War 2018 Kratos is a man of few words, reserved and calm, until literally anything happens. Then Kratos becomes the scariest man to ever exist. He's got that dog in him. Agent 47, on the other hand, is truly insane. We're talking about a guy who holds only one thing sacred above all else in this world: fashion. 47 puts on more outfits in one game than I've ever owned in my entire life. Just don't ask how he pays for them. Based on this information, I've created an easy-to-follow 3-step guide on how to be an interesting person. It goes like this. Step 1, be bald. This one is very important. Step 2, be crazy. This one is also very important. Step 3, there is no step 3. I mean, it seems pretty simple, right? Despite how easy that was, these two are actually very unique in the gaming space, and I believe it's due largely in part to their lack of hair follicles. Now, admittedly, I might be a little tiny bit biased. It's no secret that old 22 Luke has been losing the hair battle for decades. I'm 85, by the way, but I think I'm onto something here, so let's talk about it. Kratos was born at a very young age, and despite being a healthy Spartan child, he never actually had hair. If you ask me, it's because his little brother Deimos secretly shaved his head every night so that he could trick Kratos into thinking that their father was an egg. Deimos tragically passed away during an attempt to flesh out Kratos' backstory, so unfortunately we can't ask him if my egg theory is correct. I'm just gonna assume that it is, though. Kratos is still bald when the first game begins, so it seems like someone else is now trying to convince him of his egg heritage. His story in this game, and really all of his games, is one of tragedy and betrayal. He's constantly used as a tool by people who see themselves as better than him. Ares in the first game, Gaia in the second, and Athena in the third. There's a prophecy in the God of War series about how a marked warrior will bring about the end of Olympus, and it's only natural to assume the mark is Kratos' iconic red tattoo. But that's all wrong, buddy. The mark is his bald-ass head. I mean, sure, a lot of guys lose their hair at some point during their lives, but Kratos never had it. He's confirmed bald from birth, and that's why he's such an interesting character. That's the only reason. Okay, that's probably not the only reason, but think about it. What do writers normally do when they want to express that a character is built different? They give him a crazy scar, or an eye patch, or a 600-pound cyborg body that feeds on justice. But sometimes, all they have to do is take away one of the most recognizably human features: hair. And I know a lot of other things have hair. Like, I'm not saying humans are the only thing with hair. I'm just saying, you know, like mullets. We're the only things that have mullets, right? Or like toupees, comb-overs. You know what I'm talking about. You put one of us baldies on the screen and everybody's gonna be like, what the fuck is this? As someone who has been losing my hair for centuries, I'm 212, by the way. It kind of sucked at first, but now it's pretty funny, honestly. Virtually every person I interact with mentions it. It's like I'm 6'6" now and everybody's asking me how the weather is up here. So when you think of baldness as a sort of superpower, it makes sense that Kratos and Hit Guy are so strong. When they were being created, somebody checked the little weirdo box that makes him stand out from everybody else. Let's talk a little bit about Hit Boy. As I mentioned earlier, this guy is built different. He doesn't talk that much, but when he does, he's dropping some absolute banger lines.
What the f they call you? Names of our friends, so I don't need one.
Oh, got him. I guess. And then he usually does something pretty crazy and out of pocket, but that's just who he is. We love him. This is our guy, and we stan a scary king. There's a whole lot of strange behavior that goes into being Hit Dude. You do a little sneaking, a little shimmying, a little pole climbing, a little pole sliding, and then you pop two dudes with a shotgun, hide the evidence in conveniently located storage bins, hide in a closet, watch this guy freak out for approximately 2 seconds, and then steal his fit. Who wore it better? The power radiating off this man's bald head is palpable. I can almost taste it. Oh, yeah. That's definitely shaving cream. Agent 47's appearance is definitely intended to be strange, little odd looking. He gives off sentient robot cyborg trying to understand human behavior vibes. But that's what makes him interesting. He doesn't have to compete with 90% of video game protagonists who all look like a slight variation of this guy. Whoops, sorry. I meant this guy. Every move he makes or line he delivers is interesting because he was designed to be weird. Alright, enough about that guy. Let's go back to Kratos. Now tell me this. Who is the #1 group associated with baldness? Did you just say babies? God That's probably right, actually. Okay, who's the number 2 group associated with baldness? That's right, it's fathers. You all have a dad or know a dad or are a dad that has strong egg genes in their DNA. Is it any surprise then that Kratos' story has always revolved around being a parent? How many video game main characters do you know that actually have children? I can't think of a lot right now, personally, but if you can, just, keep them to yourself, man. I'm trying to make a video here. Basically, we're able to explore uncommon themes with Kratos because of his bald-headed fatherness. Like, this man is literally tougher than everybody else in the world. He is undefeated, save for one person, himself. So when he finally gets to the end of his long journey and has experienced all the rage and anger and loss and sadness, there's nothing else left for him to do but start over. It's hard being bald in a new place. The trees make you sad, your boy makes you sad, your reflection in the mirror blinds you every morning. It's not an easy time, but life goes on. You go hunting, you ask this guy how the weather is up there, you do some DIY home renovations, and every so often you rub your bald head and say, this ain't so bad. You meet a nice witch lady, you find the brightest light of all time. Jesus Christ. You go on some boat rides with your boy and you strap a funny head to your belt. One day you wake up and realize, I'm not so angry anymore. And I love my son. I do wish he was bald, though. Wow. We got to go on a pretty magical journey because a man was born with a bald head that marked him for greatness. I like to think that there's a legendary bald man inside all of us, and he only dresses up in other people's outfits when it's 100% absolutely unnecessary. And if you made it all the way to the end, please tell me how to get my hair back because I'm coping and I miss it.